I'm Jess. I'm the mindset coach for YogiTriathlete, and today I'm going to just drop a little bit on meditation 101. YogiTriathlete's mission is to create a better world, and that sounds like a lot of things outside of us need to change, but it's not that at all. It's that we believe, my husband BJ and I, my co-founder in YogiTriathlete, believe that the better world lives within us right now, that the better world is actually who we are in our truth. And meditation is an invitation, is a practice, daily practice of mental training that turns our awareness inward so we can see what's going on in this world inside. We spend most of our lives looking outside at the world, our external world, and very little time in the internal world. And so meditation is that practice that brings us in. And so there's many different components. There's lots of misconceptions, and there's a huge amount of resistance to get ourselves sitting still, especially athletes. We accomplish things, we achieve things, we set goals, we train, we do all of these things that allow us to keep moving forward. But what we miss is huge missing piece is the balance of stillness, of extreme calm, of the ability to move from intuition, which will always answer that question, when do I push and when do I rest? And all of these answers live inside right now. So meditation, why do we meditate? Think about it as simply as this. Meditation teaches us to watch our thoughts. Because when we are meditating, we are putting our awareness on something other than the thoughts. So if the thoughts are over here, most of the time our awareness is on those thoughts for our whole life. So what meditation does, and this is the essence of the mind training that comes with meditation, is that we pull our awareness away from those thoughts and onto something else. Breath, body, mantra. Just those three things will do it. Breath, body, or mantra. And you'll see that there's now a space between what I am focused on and where those thoughts reside. This is my thought life. This is my awareness. They are not the same thing. They're two different things. So when we first sit to meditate, that awareness is right up against those thoughts. And this is why most people think they can't meditate, because they think my mind is too busy. Well, if your mind is too busy, welcome to the club, because the mind is a thought-producing machine. That's what it does. It's, a scorpion stings. That's what it does. A bee stings. That's what it does. Bringing new life into the world brings joy. That's what it does. The mind produces thoughts. That's what it does. It's just that we are so focused on those thoughts, we feel like there's no freedom there. So meditation allows us to learn how to watch the thoughts. As we begin to watch the thoughts, we bring a higher state of clarity to our thought life, and we are able to discern which of those thoughts are helping us move forward, which of those thoughts are assisting us in being our best self, hence contributing to a better world, and which of those thoughts are holding us back, which of those thoughts are paralyzing us in fear, which of those thoughts are drawing our energy low into depressive states. And from our focus being over here, we can begin to choose which thoughts we indulge. That is what meditation will bring you if you do these three words: commit to sit. And you will have great resistance because you haven't practiced this. You will have great resistance because consensus thinking is that we need to do. We need to make things happen. We need to chase our dreams. And what we are missing is an ease that is available to us by being in control of the thoughts that we're indulging. So I'm sure you've heard this before. We have 60 to 70 thoughts a day. I've seen estimates as high as 100,000 thoughts a day. But that's not problematic to me because that's what the mind does. What's problematic to me is that 95% of those thoughts are the same thoughts we had yesterday. So we're living in this cyclical nature of neural looping, right? And a lot of that neural looping is great. A lot of that neural looping is keeping us stuck. It's keeping us from achieving those dreams. It's keeping us from changing the habits we've identified that we want to change. So we have to change the thoughts that we are entertaining. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the logistics of meditation. So posture, okay? You do not have to be in a Himalayan cave. You do not have to have candles. You do not have to have incense. You do not have to be in a certain outfit. Although I do recommend comfortable clothes, where you can sit and be comfy. The way I'm sitting is just a cross-legged position. There's lotus pose where the legs go up, the feet go up here on the hips. That's not happening in this athlete body. This works pretty well for me up until about 20 minutes, 30 minutes on a good day. And then I start getting a lot of sensation, especially on the inside of the knees. And I've learned this through practice. So this is not a long meditation position for me. But let me show you the cushion I'm sitting on. The first cushion I have here is called Azabutan Cushion. It's like a Azabutan mat. And this is made by Lotus. I don't have my glasses on. My glasses are right here. This is life, people. Lotus Craft. And I got this on Amazon. I think it was about $38. I use this in my little outdoor meditation space. I really like it because hard surfaces will begin to hurt my bones on the outside of my feet. It's also a nicer resting place for the tendons through my ankle. So I like the Azabutan Cushion if you don't have something soft underneath you. I don't like cushions that are too thick because then you sink too much. It's like sitting cross-legged on a couch. You sink too much. And then I find an overstretching of the tendons in my ankles, and that does not feel good over time. So this is just enough. I've done a 3-hour meditation with my hips on this mat. Then I have the Cosmic Cushion. And this is from Sun and Moon. This one was pricier. I think this was about $75. And the cushion is 11 years old when I started meditating. I just got a new cushion cover. It's heavy. This is buckwheat full. And the reason why I like buckwheat is because it really molds to your body. So I like the buckwheat, but it's heavy. Like you could do a nice curl with that if you don't have weights at home. I just had to replace the cover. I think the cover is about $30, but this thing has stood the test of time. I have lugged this thing miles to beaches, to parks. It always comes with me. So that's kind of my cross-legged one. And I have the medium height on it. And this one specifically I purchased because it said it was good for people with tight hips, because you can see that it will support my legs, down to about mid hamstring. So I like that. Now, a position that I found that I can sit in longer is kneeling, but not just kneeling on my heels, because that doesn't feel good. So I have a round cushion that I set up like this, and I put it right here. I hug it, and then I sit down on it. Now I've got more opening through here and more opening here, so not so compressed, because over time the compression of the calves to the hamstrings, again, doesn't feel good. Another thing I will do, and I've done this like with socks is a good one, is I'll roll a pair of socks just like that, and I'll pop it right underneath my ankles. So you can see my ankle now. I have a little bit more opening through the Achilles. Over time, that foot being flat really is sore in my Achilles. So, I think that as athletes in this athlete body, you guys were creating tension and tears every day as we train. So you want to know that you don't have to sit in this crazy pose with your feet up here on your hips in order to meditate. So those are 2 cushion options. The other thing you can do is you can sit in a chair. You can use yoga blocks. Same thing. You can sit on a yoga block like this. You can sit in a chair. You can sit on your couch. But the 2 rules of meditation: none of this. Tall spine. So hips to the center of your shoulders, to the center of your ears. Tall spine. Because the tall spine requires activation, and the activation requires you to stay awake. So you want to be awake, alert, and relaxed. So the sweet spot between ease and effort. Second rule, no laying down, not for your primary practice. The mind wants to be lazy. This is why we want to know. We want to know what our workouts are going to be 10 days out. We want to know what the weather's going to be on race day. We want to know if we can swim 2.4 miles in the pool. So we go out and we just swim 2.4 miles in the pool. We want to know that we can run a half marathon. So before our first half marathon, we go out and run a half marathon, right? We do these things because the mind wants certainty so that it can be lazy. And so I use that word lazy. We can also use the word efficient. Our brains are these amazing machines that create efficiency patterns, least action pathways, where a set of neurons goes down a particular pathway, it gets easier every time it goes down. We are hardwired for energy conservation, but we got to watch that if we want to be masters of our minds. We got to watch that if we want to be able to identify the thoughts that are holding us back from being our best self. So we got to watch when the mind wants to be lazy. And as that pertains to meditation, if we're lying down, what happens is the mind remembers sleep. It makes that association. It goes, oh yeah, I'm just going to sleep a little bit. And then the timer goes off and you go, oh, I fell asleep. And then you justify it by saying, oh, well, I guess that's what the body needed. So also, even when you're sitting, so as athletes, we're stressing the body. We are moving from a load of fatigue. This is why we are able to do what we do on race day. So you want to be as alert as possible. If that means you need a little shot of espresso before your morning meditation, do it. Do what you need to do to be able to be awake, because if we start to sit and we're comfortable, we've got our cushion, we got our hips and everything's comfortable, the mind's going to go, oh yeah, we can just go to sleep. And then you get the head bob. I got it a couple days ago. And I recognized, like, yes, it was the mind being lazy. And yes, the body needed a little bit of extra rest. So I reset, right? So it's having a little bit of grace with the process, but being awake to the process so that you're not sitting every day and just falling asleep. So sit like you mean it. The other great thing about the posture, you guys, is there's a physical training that happens here. When we think about our core, we think about our belly, but that's not it. Our core are all the tiny muscles that are supporting our spine right down the center that are firing 24/7. We want those muscles awake and alert. We want to be an active participant in that core strength, and meditation will give you that. I promise you. If you sit with an activated spine, if you find that sweet spot between ease and effort, you are going to feel that meditative spine, that core strength that you develop from your 5, 10, 45 minutes a day of practice when you're in the last 10K of a marathon, when you're in the last 10K of an Ironman, I have felt it more times than not, like, whoa, I can feel it. It's with me right now. It has robustness in my form. I've also been able to return to it when I find the body like, oh my God, I'm dying. Like I have 40 more miles to go. And it's like, sit up. You've been doing this for 11 years. Sit up and have that meditative spine. So that's posture. I made a couple notes here. The other thing is, you want to create a comfort. You want to create a relationship of comfort. And that's why I'm giving these options, sitting in a chair, whatever you need to do, because if it's comfortable, you will return. It'll be easier for you to return. Now, cushions we covered. Now, what do you do with your mouth, your face, right? You want to relax your face. And so sometimes what you may notice, or what you have noticed already, is that you swallow a lot. And so if you relax your jaw and you rest your tongue right behind the top row of your teeth, and then like you get it in a position and relax it, it will actually help with the producing of saliva. So that will help. So you want to rest your tongue there. Time of day. There is a sacred time of day between 4 and 6 a.m. where your environment is really quiet. Not a lot of people are up. There's not a lot of momentum, right? Einstein told us that everything is energy, and that affects us. So trying to meditate at 5 o'clock at night, if you live near the highway, is going to be more difficult because there's so much energy. People trying to get home, people exhausted, people running through the 95% of the thoughts they had yesterday on the commute home. So that those morning times are very, very quiet. It is totally acceptable to society and to the tendencies of your mind to still have your phone on airplane mode, because you realize, like, I can't do anything right now at 4:30 in the morning or 5:30 in the morning. And all the successful people are tending to themselves during that time. So we know the most highly successful people in the world take the first half hour, 2 hours of their day for self-development, journaling, meditation, quiet walk, training, whatever it may be, time with your coffee cup. I don't like to rush in the morning. I like to take that sacred time after meditation to extend it and to be in it and to walk into my day from presence, from patience, and from comfort of sipping my coffee and spending time with my husband. So that means many days, most days, I'm up at 4 a.m. so that I can get that meditation in, that cup of coffee, the journaling, and time just to wake up with the day. So time of day, highly recommend first thing in the morning. If you are a 2-time-a-day meditator, that second meditation, you want to be looking at about 3 o'clock to 4 o'clock in the afternoon. You don't want it too close to bed, because meditation is actually energizing. It's more energizing than sleep because it puts you into the theta brainwave, which is the most restful brainwave. It is the same brainwave that Yoga Nidra will put you into, which again is more restful than sleep. So for athletes, meditation, Yoga Nidra, and there's a Yoga Nidra on YogiTriathlete's YouTube page, which is the same one that's in season 1, bonus episode of the Awake Athlete podcast, season 1. This is more restful than sleep. This is an amazing way to recover your body, so that you can adapt, so that you get stronger, so that you are closer to your goals. Let's see, claim your space. So you're going to have lots of excuses. I don't have anywhere to go. I can't get up. My kids are going to wake up. I don't want to wake my husband up. I've heard them all. I'm still waiting for a really, really good one. But they're just excuses. And you're not a bad person for having those excuses, because the essence, the man behind the curtain, is always the same. It's the ego. And anytime you go to better yourself, you're going to experience ego resistance. So meditation brings us to a state of wholeness and relaxation. Wholeness meaning we're communing with the part of us that is whole, that is peaceful, that is calm, that is kind, that never gets sick, that never gets angry. This, like, it's the bottom of the ocean water. It's the still water, the calmest part of the ocean, when everything on top is rippling and crashing and the tides are flowing. The deep, deep bottom. And you know this as an ocean swimmer, as you're trying to get past the waves, you want to dive for the earth. You want to go underneath the surface of what's happening. That's what we do in meditation. And the ego, which needs to be seen as a separate autonomous being, it needs you to be separate. It needs you to be less than or more than all other people and beings on this planet. It is going to resist you being in meditation. So watch those excuses. And as you meditate, you'll be able to watch those thoughts more effectively and more efficiently and become the master of them. Go in your closet. You can roll out of bed and crawl to your closet, have a pillow in there. I can't tell you how many people have said, like, I cannot wait to get up and get in my closet. The same people that said, I can't meditate because I have nowhere to go. I can't wake my kids and I don't want to wake my husband who works the night shift. You crawl into your closet. You crawl into your tub. You sit on the toilet with the seat down and you meditate. So there is always places to go. We have a little patio here and we have a little patio there, and that patio was empty. So I asked my husband, can I claim that space as my outdoor meditation space? And I have my cushion out there, an outdoor rug, a little dream catcher, and some plants. You know, it's nothing super fancy. It's clean, it's open air, and it's a space that I have claimed for myself. Also, communicate with your family. I'm going to meditate. It's going to help me with sleep. It's going to help me with anxiety. It's going to help me with reaction. It's going to help me with decision making. It's going to help me with taking in your perspective and the perspectives of others. It's going to make me become more of who I am, which is better. Communicate with your family. Tell them you need this 5 minutes. Claim it. Claim it for yourself. Returning to the same space every day is very helpful, especially at the beginning when you're creating a habit. What else? Frequency and duration. Frequency is more important than duration. Frequency meaning consistency. So 5 minutes consistently every day. And I think you'll be super surprised at how quickly that becomes 10 minutes, how that becomes 15 minutes. So consistency is number one. The second to that is duration, but make the duration consistent as well. So meditating every day is good. Meditating longer is better. Meditating longer with quality meditation is even better. And that's where you'll go if you commit to sit. And yeah, it will be a battle. You're going to sit and you're going to say, okay, here we go. I'm going to do this, and you're going to sit, and then to do everything you forgot to do, the thing that you were supposed to do 2 weeks ago, all that stuff's going to come into your awareness. Why? Because finally you've stopped and you can be aware of things. So you're going to be aware of a lot. That doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Meditation is not about stopping the thoughts. Meditation is about the practice of watching your thoughts by pulling your awareness back to the breath, pulling your awareness back to the breath, pulling your awareness back to the breath. It is a relentless pursuit. This space between thoughts and your awareness on your breath, this is the mind training right here. Mind training, mind training, mind training, mind training, mind training. That's where it lives. So a little recipe for your meditation. You want to start with breath. Breath is our greatest interface to our nervous system. It will calm the body. If the body is calm, the mind will begin to calm. So we always say body follows mind, but it's a little bit the other way too. And really, from a more expanded perspective, the body is actually a part of the mind. So breath, breathe in for a count of 2, breathe out for a count of 4. Build that to a count of 3, out for 6. Build that in for 4, out for 8. Build that in for 4, hold for 7, out for 8. So do that, concentrate on the counting, concentrate on the mind. You'll get pulled into the thoughts, come back. When you feel calm enough, and if your timer has not gone off yet, move into a mantra. I am calm. I am breathing in. I am breathing out. I am breathing in. I am breathing out. I am calm. I am calm. I am here now. I am here now. So mantra is just a series of words that is repeated over and over again. Get one mantra and stay with it, because that will help de-excite the mind. We need to de-excite the mind. It's always looking for entertainment. So it's going to demand new mantras. It's going to demand new places to meditate. It's going to demand all these different variety of things. And you stick to the base work. Breath, mantra. Breath, mantra. Commit to sit. I think that's it. You know, one last thing that I want to leave you with is that you will not lose anything that makes you amazing. You will not lose your edge. You will not lose your drive. You will not lose your passion, but you will lose everything that's holding you back. You will lose judgment of yourself and others. You will lose fear that keeps you from living. You will lose anxiousness. You will lose jealousy. You will lose this sick satisfaction of feeling bad when others succeed. You will lose all of this stuff that keeps you limited. I have lost so much of those things. And when they show up, those roots that are still in there, they just don't have a hold anymore. And if you commit to sit, you will find the same thing. You will find a deeper sense of intuition and knowingness, where decision fatigue is a lifelong ago. I hope this has been helpful. Drop any comments, questions, reach out to me via YogiTriathlete. I'm here to support. If you've experienced it, chances are I've experienced it. And thank you for assisting us and everyone around you to create a better world, because it's inside of you right now.